And what we're seeing here is an extreme buy program. So I came back in the afternoon to sit down, but there's two things I wanted to show you. First thing was look at the precision when it comes to the markets. If we go to the where do you see it best? Futures. I mean, just look at that. The gap between the old high and the old lows, liquidity, and just look at how this candle perfectly opened up just near above the high of this candle, and it closed just below the low, the sell side liquidity. Like it fascinates me how accurate. And look at where the wicks are. But inside that zone there, that's where all the buying happened right there. It's interesting. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. Second thing I wanted to show is the entry I took yesterday. Um, Really, it was like a breaker of some sort, but I ended up getting an entry here, thinking that was going to be a nice idea just to get up to an old high, but ended up getting up to an old high and more because we're still part of this higher time frame buy program. So that was really nice to see as well. However, now we're in a situation where we're at brand new highs. So again, I don't feel comfortable in because you never know how high it's going to be before it starts retracing down again. But anyway, you still want to consider going long into this program. We see that we made a short-term high here in the form of pre-market session. Pierced above it, traded down below it, reacted off 25%. Immediate sell on that level, or there was also a good chance here for turtle soup on the old high here of this balanced price range. Sell lower up to this external range liquidity. If it's going to continue going down lower, we got this morning's London session sell side liquidity to be targeted. I made a silly mistake yesterday saying that we were going to have a red folders news yesterday, but the red folder news was actually today. Tuesday, going to be the chills opening. So there was never really any red news yesterday. It was actually today. I made a silly mistake there. Yeah, try to do better. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. Um, so I'm interested in seeing these lows getting triggered. But if this was a trade, of course, you would have been just taking majority of your position off by now and just leaving a runner. See if it will head down to that sell side liquidity. Okay, and that would have gotten you triggered. Now we're looking to see if that will be taking price over down to that London sell side. Because this balanced price range is stacked with the other, I'm favoring a reaction of OTE. If it wasn't stacked like that, then it would have to be turtle soup. And again, even though we're in the SPY program, there needs to be a low that needs to be referenced to now. So if we can get a high, the highest high is up here. If we can get an SMT low down here to this low, that will continue the buy program. Okay, so it's almost 9:15, so I'm going to be considering breaking even very, very soon. Unless we break out of this external range liquidity, then I would also immediately just set to break even as well. In the meantime, we're just holding. That will be considered my break even. Since it's already past 8:15. Okay, so that would have been tapped for turtle soup. See if that will be used to keep going down lower. To refer back to this old sell-side liquidity. Because my theory is, right, that it needs to refer back to an old low so in order to create that slingshot effect so that it can continue doing its buy program. I'm also interested in seeing the low of this type 1 daily range is aligned with the London session low. So I'm wondering if these two would be great for Total Soup to continue the buy program. Waypoint is 23,625. So we're about 25 handles away from reaching the 50% of the projected new high. Or maybe we're already there because this is 10 minutes delay data. Wow. We could be in trouble here, folks. Maybe even all the way down to Friday's lunch session. Wow. Yeah, because these loads were already referred back to in the form of SMT through the other indices. So I didn't see a good SMT reaction of this low because they all acted the same. And they acted the same here as well: low, higher, low, low, higher, low. So what am I anticipating? I'm anticipating a continuation down to the sell side delivery, especially because we don't have any lows here to refer back to until we get down to here. So it's what I was saying. I think we might be in trouble here, guys. The only redemption it has is this type 2 dealing range from this high to this low. I'm interested if it'll probably retrace back up to here, use that as OTE, and then continue to sell for lower prices. But it has to do all that before 10:6, 10:15, pretty much in the next 10 minutes. There's a little SMT here between futures and CFDs. I'm wondering if this will take price up to equilibrium, at minimum equilibrium, of this dealing range before it continues its sell side delivery. Let's see what happens. Target for NQ to go through as it's going to go down to build that higher time frame slingshot. Okay, we have two what should we call it, failure swings stacked together. The second one that I want to see layered on top, the 15U, that's the one I'll take priority for. Seeing OTE to get tapped above premium, and it's sell. In this case, they went up to equilibrium. They didn't quite hit OTE level just yet, so we're holding on to this ideal until 10:45. Oh man, it's just been a very. It was kept here in consolidation for a while, but I do anticipate taking out all these old lows. But let's see, it's about to be 11, so we got to be a little careful about how we do things here. Let's set our stop loss up to here. I don't want it to come back to these old highs, old lows here. It's already going to be 11, so again we have to take 9 to 10. And what do we see here? So I'm going to leave an alarm if it reaches down here, but man, I'll come back and see if it even reaches down as low as to the lunch sell side liquidity. Huge fake out, don't you think? Since this morning, it was like looking up, it was going to go up higher, higher, higher. Higher time frame program, but it needs to reference something, it needs to anchor itself. There's a whole phantom leg. And we had all those referred back to via NQ and ES. So that's why we had to, I'm sorry, not Dow and ES. That's why it was just so. I don't know if you guys saw my entry, but my entries was SMT. Not SMT, it was OTE. Because at the time we had a couple of MIs here stacked up together. So because they were stacked up, I say that my entry tends to be an OT on the second leg because the first leg was the one that was the inception of that failure swing. So if you made a failure swing again, that failure swing, I'm going to use that as an OT entry. You saw my entry. I got it up here, and then slowly it started trickling back down. Don't get me wrong, it's been really hard to hold this, and just seeing prices keep going down and down kind of gives you more confluence that it's going to eventually go down to lunch sell-side liquidity because that's all that's left. That's all the business has left to refer back to. My only fear right now is the 1130 macro, which can tend to go against your original position if the market wants to target, the shorts that are making profit right now. It can go up against the retrace because we've generated new buy side interest as well. We take a look at the London close session. We have some highs here that we can refer back to again. So we have to be very cautious now, especially the time of the day that is about to show up. But all in all, I mean, hey, this is going against our favor a lot. So this is really good, good to see. But yeah, right here would be ideal. Here will be even better. So there's something else. There's nothing else to support price right now. And as it's going down, look at the ranges it's been balancing. A little of this high, a little of this high, and now we're seeing that we can get down to even lower levels here.